Hey, welcome everyone to DevSecOps Cloud Tech. I'm Blessing. Today we are walking through a reward style case study with FinWorks Analytics. We see how they avoid risky permanent admin accounts by using AWS IAM role for temporary auditable admin access. I will show you the problem, the solution, hands-on demo, and finally we'll codify everything with CloudFormation for repeatability. Let's start with who FinWorks is. FinWorks is a mid-sized fintech building real-time analytics dashboard for banks and credit unions. Because they process sensitive financial data, security and governance are non-negotiable for FinWorks. Three teams share responsibility. Developer builds API analytics engines. DevOps engineers run CI/CD and deploy infrastructure. And cloud admin ensure compliance and manage AWS accounts. With that setup, giving everyone permanent admin is definitely not a good idea and would be a nightmare. So to ensure security safety, we need a safer model. Here is the exact problem they ran into. FinWorks has a DevOps IAM user whose is cloud user by default. This entity is limited to EC2 read-only and S3 logs, but real works often require higher privileges, such as creating VPC, setting up RDC, deploying CloudFormation stack, and tweaking IAM policy. Handing out permanent admin is too risky and adds to audits, so FinWorks adopt IAM role with switch role. DevOps operates with least privilege most of the time and temporarily assume administrator role only when needed. Every assumption is recorded in CloudTray, so security and compliance team can see who elevates, when and for what. Let me show you how we implement that. Step 1, we create IAM role. The cloud admin creates a role named CSAA_administrator test. The trust policy says only our cloud user can assume it. Then we attach administrator access. You can think of this like a master badge kept in a lockbox, only issued when special work is needed. Step 2, assume the role. DevOps engineer logs in as cloud user who only has basic access. Without the role, they are denied access to services like certification manager. To set up, they click switch role, enter the account ID and the role name. Once assumed, a red banner at the top makes it clear they are operating with elevated permission. Now the user can create VPC, RDS, IAM policies, everything an admin can do. When they switch back or log out, privileges drop to normal. This clean, temporary, and auditable. Let's watch the creation and assumption in action in the next. Here is the step 1. We start by creating a new IAM role inside the AWS Management Console. First, we navigate to IAM services. From there, we choose roles and then we click create role. So security, identity, and compliance. You navigate to IAM. Select role. Create role. Custom trust policy. We edit a policy. It looks right. So we are selecting trusted entity as an AWS account and defining the trust relationship. This trust policy specifies exactly who can assume this role. For our demo, we are allowing cloud user to assume this administrative role. You put the account ID and the account username, cloud_user. Leave the condition empty. You can put some restriction such as some range of IP address, but we are leaving that empty. Next. So we attach our administrator access policy. This grants full admin privileges, but only when the role is assumed. We then provide a clear name and description. And we also add a tag along the line. Adding proper tags like governance and ownership, and it makes it easier to audit and make this role later. So now I'm going to add the tag. I'm adding 5 different tags. They are key value pairs, so it enables us for proper auditing and governance. Second tag, environment. The owner is the DevOps team, and compliance, SOX, audit, created by Blessing, create role. We can see our role is created, role administration access created. We can view role by clicking on view role. So our role has been created. We're moving into step 2. Let's see how this role is assumed. We copy the link and we paste it in a new browser. We see our account ID our IAM role name. So put our display name is optional. We choose color red so that we can know when we're switching role, and we click switch role. Now we can see the red icon indicates that we've assumed our role as an administrator, and we can now at this point do administrative functions. Now let's make this repeatable across accounts by using infrastructure as code, which is CloudFormation. Step 3 is codification. FinWorks doesn't want manual console click of every account. Dev, staging, and production, so we define this role in CloudFormation using YAML or JSON. The template sets the role name, the trust policy that allows only cloud user, and attach administrator access. We also add a description and governance tag, projects, just like we did earlier using our everything manually on the console. Those tags help finance and compliance team trace ownership and standard governance across accounts. With CloudFormation, any account can deploy the exact same role as a single stack, fast, consistent, and compliance. Let's see the codification in action. In step 3, we take what we just built manually and codified into a CloudFormation template. So we're signing into our account, cloud user, and putting the password. Inside the CloudFormation service, start by creating a new stack, and I'm going to be uploading a YAML template. So we navigate through management and governance, CloudFormation, so we can see create stack. We create a new stack with new resource standard. We're going to build from infrastructure composer. Create infrastructure composer. Canvas template, we click on template. And we can either toggle between JSON or YAML. So we're going to put a YAML template, which can also be converted to a JSON file. So we go through everything that we have done. We did earlier. It's basically codified in this script, and we can put our account ID. We already put our username, so we just put our account ID. So you can see the script has the tags, has everything, the role name, basically everything that I did earlier. Now we're putting it in a proper code, and copy the account ID. If we're validating the code is valid, then we can click on create template. So here we agree to put in the S3 bucket, confirm and continue to CloudFormation. Next. So what's powerful is repeatability. Instead of clicking through the console every time, You can deploy this stack in any AWS account, dev, staging, production, and get exact same configuration. This is infrastructure as code. It removes human error, speed up deployment, and ensure compliance. You can think of this like writing a formal HR policy manually. Once it's documented, every new office branch follows the same rule. CloudFormation acts as the manual for our AWS environment. So we click on acknowledgement and we click next. We click submit. Now our stack is creating in progress. We can refresh. Let's refresh once again. It's still creating. We're gonna refresh again. Created, complete. So it's already done. So now we can assume the role like we did earlier, and this can be used over and over as a stack. So with this, FinWorks achieve automation, governance, and auditability. Core pillar of DevSecOps. Let's summarize the technology we use. Quick summary: IAM give us user role, switch role, trust policy and tags. CloudFormation provide infrastructure as code for consistent deployment. CloudTrail logs every role assumption for audit. Together, this DevSecOps least privilege by default, temporary escalation and automation. Now let's wrap up with our key takeaways. Today we created a dedicated administrator with role with a strict trust policy. This policy adds a clear description and governance tag. Assume the role using switch role to elevate its temporary and codify it all in CloudFormation. This is DevSecOps in action, like I said earlier. Security, compliance, and automation works together, so team move fast without sacrificing control. If this helps, here's how you can support us in this channel. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Drop your question in the comment section. Thank you for watching.